Hi kids, my name is Tamalyn. Some of you know me as Pastor Tam, some of you know me as Grandma, and you can call me whatever you want to call me. I'm glad you're here with me today because we are going to do some fun stuff and we're going to learn a really cool story. First of all, I want you to be ready to run and grab some stuff from around your house, okay? Here are the things you're going to have to grab, and I will give you time to go get them. Are you ready? You're going to need some string or some yarn, so you can ask a grown-up in your house to help you get some. I have this ball of yarn that my grandsons, some of you know my grandsons, they're Benjamin and Emmett and Rowan. We use this yarn at our house for making twine to tie maps when we make treasure maps. You can use whatever you can find in your house. It can be whatever color you want, but we're going to use it to make a special project, okay? We are going to take this yarn or string, whatever you have, and we're going to cut it in 3 pieces. If you don't have scissors, ask your grown-up in your house if they can help you cut it. And it needs to be a little bit over a foot long. And we're going to cut at least 3 pieces, okay? And they need to be about the same length. So I just kind of loop it over, grown-ups. Are you ready? You're going to get your 3 pieces and we'll come back to that in a minute. I'm just going to set it down and we'll come back to that. One of the other things you're going to need to grab is a roll of tape. I like to use masking tape because it's good at gripping things, okay? You're going to want to get a glass of water because we're talking about water today. And you're going to want to get some kind of hat, okay? Because we're going to be using our thinking caps today or our imagination caps. Okay, are you ready? You're going to want to hit the pause button so you can go grab your stuff. And I will wait for you. Ready, set, go grab your stuff. Okay, are you back with me? The first thing you're going to do is get your stuff ready for when we're ready to do our project. Okay, so I want you to take your string and make sure you have it in 3 equal sections, and you can cut this in one piece at a time or roll it or stretch it so that it's ready to cut. And I have mine ready, so I've got it in 3 equal sections. I'm going to cut one end of it and go down to the other end where it's looped, and I'll cut once and there, and I have my 3 strings that are all equal, and that's probably about 18 inches or 20 inches or so, okay? Now I'm going to set my strings aside for later because I don't need those quite yet, and you don't need yours quite yet. Take your tape, put it over with your strings. You don't need that yet either. And your roll, your ball of yarn, you're not going to need that again. So you can put it away or tell your grown-up to put that away. You don't need that yet. Now you ready? We're going to put our thinking caps on because are you ready to do some thinking? I am. Okay. I like this cap. It was a gift that was given to me by my mother-in-law a long time ago. And it's pretty. There's a glare behind me. You can't really see it. There, can you see all those colors? Look at all those colors in there. Does your hat have all those colors on it? If it doesn't have all these colors, which colors does your hat have? I like lots of colors. What's your favorite color? Think about that. God made lots of colors. We like all the colors God made. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about a woman who needed some water. Do you ever need water? Now I'm thirsty because I'm thinking about water. I'm going to take a drink of my water. If you get thirsty when we talk about water, take a drink of your water. Ready? Okay. That always makes my body feel better and my mouth and my throat feel better when I drink water. You know, I have something special here I want to show you. This is a special teacup. This used to belong to my grandma. You know what her name was? Her name was Grandma Gobble. Just like a turkey says, Grandma Gobble, gobble, gobble. Isn't that a silly name for a grandma? But she was the best grandma in the world. And you know what? I think she loved this teacup because it was so pretty, and she kept it for years and years and years, a lot of years. Now, what do you think she drank in this teacup? Do you suppose she drank water out of it? Maybe tea? I know she drank coffee out of it because she loved coffee. Now, when she drank tea or coffee, how do you think she made those drinks? Or if she wanted to put water in it, where did she get her water? Where do you get your water? If you want to make a cup of tea, where do you get your water to make your tea? Now, I put my water in my tea kettle. Do you have a tea kettle like this at your house? Or you can get water and just put it in a regular pot. Or you can get it out of your Keurig machine, however you want to do it. But you can't just get water by wishing for water, right? So I go to my sink to get water. Do you go to your sink to get water? I'll bet you do. Yeah. But you know what? A long time ago, when Jesus was walking on this earth, he couldn't just go to a sink to get water. And when he was really thirsty, he couldn't just take his cup to the sink and fill it up and get a drink of water. And one day he was walking along and he was really, really thirsty. And he couldn't just fill up his glass of water. And so he had to find a well where there was water coming up from the ground. Now, this is where you're going to have to use your thinking caps, your imagination caps. So make sure they're on really well so you can imagine what a well looks like in the ground. And if you've never seen a well, you might ask the grown-up in your house to help you find one. You can ask Google to show you a well, or ask Siri on your smartphone, okay? But a well helps people get water up from the ground. And I don't have a bucket, but people use buckets in old-time wells to get water out of the ground. So we're going to pretend like my grandma's teacup is a bucket today, okay? Imagination caps come in pretty handy for things like this. So here's Jesus. Now, a couple weeks ago, my grandson Rowan and I made these people. You like our people? Those are our people. Now, this is the little person that Rowan made. And so we're going to say that this little person, isn't that a cute little person? This little person is going to be Jesus today, okay? And this is my little person that I made. And you can see my dog chewed up my little person's head. That was not supposed to happen. I just discovered that today, that my dog ate my person's head. But this little person, you're going to meet her later, okay? But you already know about Jesus. So here comes Jesus, and he's very thirsty, and he walks up to the well. Hey, I know. We can use my roll of tape for the well, okay? So here comes Jesus, and he comes walking up to the well. But there's no bucket of water. In fact, he looks into the well and, oh my, that water's way, way down there. And he's not going to climb down into the well to get the water because it's too far down. But guess what? He's just going to wait there and, hey, here comes a woman and she has a bucket. Look. And she can put the bucket, oops, my bucket doesn't fit in my well, so we'll pretend like it does. She puts the bucket down in the well and gets some water. And Jesus says, hey, could I have a drink of that? Now, guess what? This woman is very, very surprised because you know what? Most people don't talk to her. Sometimes people can be very mean. Have you ever met someone that people were mean to? maybe they don't talk to this person. Maybe they think, oh, we don't like the way this person lives, or we don't like the way this person looks, or we just don't want to be friends with this person. Well, that's how it was with this lady. But Jesus thought, I could be friends with this lady. I think she's okay, and we could sit here and talk. And you know what? She gave him a drink of water, and they sat there and they talked a long time. And she felt better, and he felt pretty good because he made a new friend, and she made a new friend. And then he told her things like, God loves you, and life's gonna be pretty good. And you know what? She went home with her bucket of water, and she had a pretty good day. And Jesus went back, and his friend said, wow, you talked to that woman that nobody else talked to? And he said, well, of course, because God loves everybody. Now, what do you think you would do if you met a woman like that? What do you think you would do if you were Jesus and you met someone that people didn't like? What do you do if you meet people that people don't like? It's time to get your string or your yarn or your thread or whatever. And we're going to take it and we're going to tie one end and we're going to make something called a friendship bracelet. Are you ready? You might need a grown-up's help with this if you're not good at tying knots. But we're just going to tie a simple knot on one end to help you make a braid. Now, if your fingers are really little, braids are kind of hard. But if you've had a lot of practice with braids, then you might be ready to try this. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my knot right there. I'm going to take a piece of tape. Ready? And I'm going to stick it kind of under my knot. And I'm going to have to adjust my camera a little bit so you can see that I'm taping it to the table. Sorry, the camera's going to wobble a bit while I'm doing this. Okay, ready? It's going to take some wiggly work. Can you see that? I got to take off my thinking cap so I can see what you can see. And then we're just going to braid it. You know how to braid? You take your 3 strands and you go one over the middle one, and then the other one over the new middle one, and then this one over the new middle one, and you keep going until you're all the way done. You just keep going over the middle one and the middle one and the middle one and the middle one and the middle one until you're all the way at the end. Now we're going to pretend like I'm all the way at the end, okay? It's not going to be as fancy as yours because you're going to braid all the way to the end. Now what you can do now is you take it and you can tie this end so it doesn't come unlooped like this. And then when both of your ends are knotted, you're going to take it like this and you're going to tie a knot. You're going to figure out how big a wrist is. You know what your wrist is? This part of your arm right here next to your hand. And you're going to make it so it's big enough to get a hand in and out and in and out, okay? And you might need a grown-up to help you with this too. And you're going to tie a little knot right there. So you have just made a friendship bracelet. How's that? And it's going to have 2 little tails like that. I made mine a little long, didn't I? Yours might not be that long. And you can take that friendship bracelet and you can give that to your brother or your sister or a grown-up in your family like your mom or your dad or your grandpa or your grandma or a friend at school or someone that you know that people don't talk to very much. Someone that you know that might have sad feelings and need a special friend and some special love in their lives. Just like Jesus gave some special love and friendship to that woman that he met at the well that day. Now, I am really glad that you've been with me today to do this special project and to talk about those special people, Jesus and that woman that he met that day. We're going to get together some other times and maybe do some other projects and talk about some other people. But there's one more thing I want to show you before you go. I showed you my grandma's cup, right? I showed you that I like to drink water. This is one of my big cups that I use to take one more drink of water. It's always good for us. But here's a cup like Jesus would have had his water in. This is a cup that's made out of clay, and it's probably like Jesus used. That's pretty special, isn't it? So someday, when you're drinking water, maybe you can use a cup like Jesus did. Bye-bye, kids. See you later.